So this is your lungs, right? Not lungs, your respiratory tree. And it ends up in the alveolus. The alveolus is a representative of your lungs, okay? So you draw like this, and then you write down the anatomical features, right? You have hyaline crop, so you're going to say this is your nose, and then there's your pharynx, then there's your larynx, then there's your trachea, then there's your bronchus, the right and the left, and then it becomes bronchioles, and then you go to the alveolus.
What is the L for?
L for lung, for larynx.
Oh, larynx.
This is your larynx, this is your nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, and then your bronchioles, okay? So your pressure here first is 760, right? And the, so you have your brain. So when the brain receives high carbon dioxide levels, by the way, what part of the brain? What structure?
Medulla.
That's very good. The medulla.
And the pons.
Yes. But the medulla is the one that directly responds to this one, right? The pons just regulates or helps. So the one that don't forget this one, the one that directly controls or monitors is this one, right? The pons just helps. So when this is high, it stimulates your two muscles, your diaphragm, right? And the external intercostals. And they contract. When they contract, you expand. When you see, look at where is my lung. This is like your lungs, right? So, and this is your diaphragm. This one right here. This black thing, you see the black thing, right? And that's your diaphragm. And so when the diaphragm contracts, it flattens. Look at what happens to the lungs. You increase the volume. See, you increase the volume. And why did it increase the volume? Remember that the pleural membranes, remember they're stuck. We want high surface tension then. So it increases the volume. So when you increase the volume, so the contraction of these two muscles will increase the volume, which leads to decrease in pressure. So now we got to that part. Everybody, you understand this part, right? Everybody, yes? Yes, everybody? Okay? So when the pressure goes down here, the air just goes inside. So what you need to know as it passes through the nose, what's going on here? You're filtering the large cockroaches that maybe you'll be inhaling, or mosquitoes that can enter there. You filter it, and then you also warm it. The air, the nose is your humidifying chamber. It humidifies and adjusts the temperature and the humidity of the air that you breathe in. Then it goes to the pharynx, which is your throat. Okay? From the pharynx, it lands in the larynx. Don't forget the epiglottis right here. The importance of the epiglottis, right? Which is a structure of your larynx. Don't forget, okay? So the epiglottis makes sure that only air enters your respiratory tree and nothing else, right? If food happens to be traveling down here at the pharynx level, the act of swallowing, that's why it's very important to chew and swallow properly, will contract and fold the epiglottis backwards and downwards, okay? So now from here on, what are the features here that we need to remember? Pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, you see? The cilia is brushing any kind of microscopic particles that can be possibly harmful right here to the lungs. So we want to trap them and brush them all the way up out. Okay? So in the meantime, the air keeps going, going, going. And here at the trachea, don't forget the carina, right? The carina, which is the most sensitive part of your lungs. triggering the strongest cough reflex, okay? And then here, another important feature, the hyaline cartilage.
This is all within the trachea.
Within your whole respiratory tree, except right here, right? The terminal bronchioles, no more hyaline cartilage, right? So the hyaline cartilage, make sure that this is open because that's the only way that air can be sucked in if there's an open. Because, by the way, don't forget, where is the decreased pressure? The decreased pressure is not here, right? The pressure went down here. This is where the pressure decreased, right? When you expand, it's the lungs. The pressure in the lungs went down, but not here. So it's like the air is being sucked all the way here. But how can you suck it all the way here? Don't forget, this is what is being expanded when your diaphragm and intercostal muscles contract. It's your lungs that's being expanded. So the contraction of your diaphragm and intercostal muscle cannot open up your larynx, your trachea. They have to be remaining always open. Does it make sense, everybody? What keeps them open is the hyaline cartilage. Don't forget that, okay? When your intercostal and your diaphragm muscles contract, what they are keeping open or what they are opening up is only the lungs. You cannot open this up with muscle contraction or expansion, nothing. So they have to remain open. That's the purpose of the hyaline cartilage.
So the hyaline cartilage keeps the lungs open?
Not the lungs, not the lungs, not the lungs. This one, feel it, hyaline
The
cartilage.
tube that goes down.
Yes,
It
all
keeps
the way here. The lungs is the one, okay? Look at, when you inhale, which one is expanding? This one, right? Your chest. What's there? Your lungs. So when my intercostal muscles and my diaphragm contracts, what it opens up is only my lungs. How about my nose? What keeps them all open? They have to stay open. They are not affected by my expansion of my chest cavity. So what keeps them open is the hyaline cartilage. Okay? So air keeps going in, right? Then, so don't forget, you trace the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, hyaline cartilage, all the way to the bronchus, right? But when you get to the terminal bronchioles, before you get to the alveolus, this one, absent hyaline cartilage, right? The hyaline cartilage is now absent, and what remains is your smooth muscle. Smooth muscle. Right? And so that's why I said at this point it is possible, this one now you see, it's possible to collapse that because there's nothing that will keep it open. Again, because why? The expansion of the lungs only expands my alveolus, nothing else. So this is the one where the pressure goes down when the pressure out here is 760. Where did the pressure go down? Right here. This is where it became 758. So the air is being sucked. See, it's being sucked right there. But the air here, the passageway here has to remain open. What keeps it open is that hyaline cartilage. Does it make sense, everybody? So now it reached here. Don't forget the importance of the smooth muscle right here, right? That's like people with asthma, you can have difficulty breathing if you have asthmatic attacks, and what you inhale, they're called bronchodilators. What part is being dilated? Right here, the terminal part, to make sure that air is still able to be sucked in here. Where's the pressure going down? Right here, right? Not up there, right here. It's just sucking in the air, like a vacuum. Really? Okay, you understand? So here, when you get to the alveolus, no more cartilage, no more pseudostratified ciliated, nothing. What's here? What's left here is simple squamous epithelium, right? And so the air, which is rich in oxygen, finally entered, and this is only simple squamous epithelium. Don't forget the two types of cells here, your type 1 and type 2. The exchange happens between type 1 cells and the capillary endothelium. So this is my alveolus, right? And then next to it will be my capillary endothelium. So pulmonary capillaries, right? So this green one will be the pulmonary capillaries, which is also, remember, capillaries also simple squamous epithelium, right? So the blood that was flowing here, so right here, we're going to include now our, so remember, in superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, right? Then it went to your right atrium, then right AV valve, so the right AV valve, the tricuspid valve, right ventricle, to the pulmonary arteries, to the pulmonary capillary. So this is the pulmonary capillary. So this pulmonary capillary is getting oxygen poor blood, right? And high carbon dioxide. See? So this is high carbon dioxide, and there's your oxygen. So they switch. The oxygen will now move from here to here. They just follow diffusion gradients, except we're going to say uh, pressure difference, right? Because these are gases, right? So they switch, and so then the recoil, look at this one. Now the oxygen entered here, right? And these pulmonary capillaries will return to the heart. This is now pulmonary vein. See, the oxygen is going to the pulmonary vein, then go to the left side of the heart, left atrium, left AV valve, which is your mitral valve, then your left ventricle, then your semilunar valve, then your aorta. I know that it's not nice, it's not semilunar valve, but I'm sure you can figure this out, right? So there's the oxygen going now to the body. Now this carbon dioxide, how are you going to blow that off? So let's look at when it expanded, the recoil, right? The elastic arteries here, remember, I'm sorry, elastic fibers that surrounds my alveolus, you stretch it, they recoil, right? You squeeze all of the air that you just breathed in. So the pressure here then goes up, right? Goes up to 762. So that's how you blow it out. And no problem because this is always open. So you blow out the carbon dioxide. Then another round when the brain again will receive high carbon dioxide, you need to blow it out. So you have to do this another round. So I think this is the best way to study your respiratory system. Very easy, and don't forget those important features that I told you. By the time when you get here, by the way, because of the fact that this is always open, there's that third population of cells called your alveolar dust cells, the macrophages, right? Which try to protect you. Because look at, if we inhale microscopic particles or bacteria, it's very easy for them to jump from here to here to your blood. So the macrophages are like your border patrol, right? So they prevent bacteria from trying to cross over and possibly cause infection in the blood. And they provide what type of protection? First line, second line, or third line of defense? What do you think? What do you think? They're macrophages. First,
Second
yes,
line.
very good. Second line of defense, very good. Okay? So, study it this way. I'm thinking that will help you. You draw, even though it doesn't look nice. At least you feel confident. You just talk to yourself. Don't let anyone see you talking to yourself like this. Okay? So finish up your worksheets.